Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sedona International Film Festival. I'm your host, Carol Kahn. We are here at the Yavapai College Sedona campus, and we'd like to thank our sponsors, Northern Arizona Healthcare. And joining me now are two filmmakers, Michael and Bill from the film DENCE. Welcome.
Thank you.
And look how handsome, right? Oh. Beautiful, handsome. I'm a lucky girl right now. Thank you both for joining us. And I understand, is this your first time in Sedona?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
And Bill, you've been here 3
times
already?
This is my third time in 2 years.
Third time's a charm. We were talking about threes all morning.
Wait to come back.
That's awesome. What do you think so far?
Oh, wow. I feel like the days here are longer in a good way. It's just the vibe, the feeling in this whole town, in this whole city. I feel like this is the right time for me to be here. There are so many reasons why I wanted this film to be at this festival. One of the reasons is just because of what this city is, everything that it is, and what the film is. I feel that there's a really close match to them. Yeah.
And your role in the film?
I am the writer-director and one of the producers on the film.
Okay, and Bill, you have a unique
composer
job here?
and one of the producers as well.
Awesome. And we were briefly talking about what kind of music that you compose. Why don't you share with the audience what kind of music?
It's all across the board. I mean, with regards to this film, I think the interesting thing to note that I won't give anything away is that I employ the use of bitonality in the score, which is something that John Williams frequently does to increase tension and sustain tension over long periods of time. The film is basically a building of tension the entire time through. And so what bitonality is you have one kind of tonal key center down here, another tonal key center up here. And for the film and for the character, for me, that really helped to exemplify the confusion in his mind about which kind of reality to exist in. So it's a very acoustic score that uses that technique.
You know, I think you brought up a really interesting point that just made me think about something. Is people, like, when watching films, it's like you don't really you hear the music, right? Because it makes you feel, like, it intensifies, like, feelings and stuff like that, but there's definitely an art to it.
Absolutely, yes. And it's fun watching all the amazing films here and just rewatching again, especially in the short film format, how effective a minor chord will be. And when that changes to a major chord, even if nothing changes on the screen, your emotion changes. And you might not even realize why all of a sudden now you're feeling a different thing. But the music, just maybe one note is different, and now you're in a different feeling completely.
Yeah, it's amazing. You know, I remember watching films when I first started doing photography, and so I went to this film and I was just like looking at all the shots going, oh my God, that's a great shot. I don't even know what the film was about. I didn't even like pay attention. I was just looking at all the shots and it was good, and then found out that it was a horrific movie. And I was like, what did I like about it? I don't know. So can you tell us a little bit about the film?
Yes, so the film is about a tree that stands alone in the middle of the desert while the rest of the world around it moves. And as the rest of the world around it moves, we discover that it's really about veterans returning home. And so it begins in one way, and as it progresses, we learn that it's actually about something completely different. And that's a little bit about what it's about.
What inspired you to do this film?
I found myself having an emotion that I didn't understand, and I was just lying down on the couch one day, not able to move. It was like an emotional paralysis kind of a thing, and I had been doing research for 2 years on the subject of veterans returning home and PTSD. Prior to this, with another project, and in my process of interviewing active military members and veterans of all ages, I understood that I don't understand what it's like. And at that moment, though, when I was on that couch, I was like, this is the closest that I know that I can get to understanding this feeling. And so what that ended up leading to is me not knowing what movie I'm about to write, but just knowing that it's going to be one shot, and the camera is not going to move, because I don't know how to get out of this emotion and there are no cuts with emotions. Film editing is really the editing medium within the film, the cinematic medium, is fascinating, because we can cut around and create an emotion and go out of an emotion really quickly, just cut to another scene. But in real life, you can't cut to another scene necessarily. And so I just knew that whatever the film is going to be, it's going to be one shot that does not cut. I never really advertised it as being one shot, because I didn't want it to seem like just like a technique, but like to get people to watch it or something like that. So we just, except for right now, we usually just let people discover that it's a one-shot film.
Wow. And how easy, difficult was it for you to put music to something like this?
It was a really unique project because there's no dialogue in the film. And so when I received the first cut, it was completely silent. There was no music, no sound effects, no dialogue. And so it was up to me to start talking with Michael about the emotional trip that we wanted the audience to experience through the film. And so I think the first step was finding a few pieces of music that I thought could work and kind of putting in temp music to the film. And so we had a night where I showed him, I put in temp music that I found, which is usually the other way around. The director puts in temp music.
I never use temp music.
But so it's kind of fun to reverse that process and show him a few things that I thought could convey the emotional gravitas of what he was going for. And then after we kind of settled on things that we liked in each of those pieces, I went off and started to create something. And so that initial piece was really helpful to kind of steer me into what are the moments that we want to highlight, and then how do we want the emotional arc to progress.
How difficult is it to do that, right? Because you have a vision for like working on his film, and then it's your thought process. But I know that there's a collaboration, but you have to be like right on target to make sure that you get it. So how difficult
Or you
is
just
that?
have to keep doing it until you get closer. And if the target's here and you start here, then maybe you get here the next version, then here the next version, then here the next version. So there was a long back and forth process of just getting closer to the target.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And did that help you with the film, understanding like what he was trying to convey to you?
Yeah, the entire process of making the film really changed at every stage of production. In pre-production, it was one film. While shooting, we changed it while shooting, actually. And then in the editing room, it just like when we were just editing, it changed again, and then sound came, it changed even further, and it's just the ever-evolvement of a project where I can go back real quickly and say that I originally wanted everything to be in complete silence. I knew that we would bring on a composer anyway, but I did want it to be in complete silence, but then it evolved, and the vision that I had prior to meeting Bill ultimately changed into something that would not have come along had Bill not come onto the project. And our lead actor, Luca Malacrino, who's on the other side of the world filming right now, introduced me to Bill, and that's how we met. And
then discovered that you are not that far away from each other.
and what I will say to complete that thought is that even though I wanted it to be in silence, or I thought I wanted it to be in silence, that's not really what I wanted. I wanted a feeling that is as close as possible to what that felt like, and ultimately the score is what does that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Yeah.
And has the film been screened yet in Sedona?
Yes, and it's screening again today at 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Do you remember where?
Yes, at the Harkins. At the Harkins Theater. Yeah.
Awesome. And then how can people find out about the film?
We can follow us on social media. The films, I can give the hashtag for it is Change the Cadence. You can follow that hashtag, or just type our name in at Cadence 16mm, at Cadence Film -16mm. We have a website as well, And yeah,
Awesome.
What's the website?
www.cadence-film.org. cadence-film.org.
You did that so smoothly. I know I have to do hashtag Sedona Film Fest 2022. And I know I'm being tested on a daily basis to make sure that I get that. Actually, not even a daily basis. I think it's in 15-minute basis.
And can I quickly mention, the film is taking a new turn. It's taking a new turn now. With the pullout in Afghanistan that happened in August, and during that time, those events kept triggering people who have been in that conflict and seen it firsthand and secondhand, veterans. And now with everything going on with the Ukraine, I'm waking up to my friends who I spoke to just saying that they're feeling triggered by the events happening today as well. And I just want to mention that because it's really happening. Things are really happening right now in the world, and I feel that we should all really pay attention and listen. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that to our attention too. I appreciate that, and I can't wait to hear you sing. Are you performing tonight?
Next week.
He's performing tonight for me. I hope.
In the car on the way over.
Oh yeah.
Warming up.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear. So thank you too for being with us. I look forward to seeing you later.
Okay.
And thank you again for your film.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
And we will be back with more from the Sedona International Film Festival after this.